They said Florida was heading for another crash. The headlines were loud. The so-called experts were confident. Florida's market was overheated, they said. A correction was coming. Sound familiar? It should, because they have been saying the same thing for years, and they have been wrong every single time. Tonight, we are going to show you exactly why, with data, not opinion. Let us start with the single most important indicator of a housing crash: underwater mortgages. In 2009 to 2013, when Florida's market actually did collapse, 51% of Florida homeowners with mortgages were underwater. More than half. That was a real crisis. Today, according to CoreLogic's first quarter 2026 data, Florida's underwater mortgage share stands at just 1.1%. 1.1%. That places Florida as the 44th lowest state in the nation, one of the most mortgage-healthy markets in the entire country. The foundation of Florida's housing market has never been stronger. The crash narrative often points to foreclosures as its evidence. But here is what the data actually shows. Florida's foreclosure activity, while slightly elevated compared to the pandemic lows, remains well within historical norms and is driven by a small segment of legacy distressed loans, not by a wave of new defaults from recent buyers. The homeowners who purchased in the last 5 years did so with strong equity positions, full documentation, and at prices that have continued to appreciate. There is no subprime time bomb. There is no over-leveraged speculator class waiting to collapse. The 2008 conditions simply do not exist in 2026. Now here is the question worth asking. If Florida is headed for a crash, why are the world's most sophisticated international buyers still putting their money here? According to the National Association of Realtors' 2026 International Transactions Report, foreign buyers purchased $45.3 billion worth of U.S. residential real estate from April 2025 through March 2026. 48% of those buyers paid all cash, not financed, all cash. These are not speculative buyers chasing a trend. These are wealth preservation buyers who have studied the market, compared it to their alternatives, and made a deliberate decision. And they keep choosing the United States, and specifically Florida. Florida is the #1 destination for foreign buyers in the United States. 20% of all foreign property purchases were made in Florida, more than California, more than Texas, more than any other state. The NAR report identifies Canada as the top country of origin at 16%, followed by Mexico at 14%, China at 11%, India at 9%, and the United Kingdom at 4%. Chinese buyers, despite purchasing fewer units, spent an average of $1 million per property, the highest of any nationality. These buyers are not looking for bargains. They are looking for stability, lifestyle, and long-term value. Florida delivers all three. Why Florida specifically? Because international buyers are making a global comparison. They are looking at their home country's political risk, currency instability, and property rights protections. And then they are looking at Florida. No state income tax, strong property rights under U.S. law, a growing economy, world-class infrastructure in Miami, direct international flights to every major global city, a Spanish-speaking business community that makes Latin American buyers feel at home, and a climate that draws buyers from Canada and Europe who want a second home with year-round warmth. Florida is not just a real estate market. It is a global address. So here is the takeaway. The same international buyers who have access to every real estate market on Earth, who have advisors, analysts, and capital, are choosing Florida. They are not listening to the crash predictions. They are reading the data. Underwater mortgages at 1.1%. 48% all cash purchases. Florida ranked number 1 for foreign buyer demand for the 13th consecutive year. If the world's most informed buyers are not running from Florida, perhaps you should not be either. The data does not lie. The headlines do.
This message is brought to you by the LRF Group, licensed in Florida and New York, with offices in Miami and Manhattan, and affiliated with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, EWM Realty. If you are considering a real estate decision in South Florida, contact us for a private consultation. Scan the QR code to subscribe to our free weekly market updates. At LRF Group, our services for your world.